Good morning. How you guys doing today?
Hey, do you like us? This has been 2 years of doing this. The reason why I'm asking, some reason I was thinking about this. We have this picture in studio of Jay Beagle. He was on the Capitals, right? And he used to do this bit much like you where he came on. I don't know if he came on every week, but we had him on every couple of weeks. And then we quit doing it, or maybe got traded, and we never heard from him again.
You signed a big
Never.
Where did he go, Vancouver?
What do you think he's supposed to call you?
I don't
free
know.
Time? I don't know.
Yeah,
He likes us. He gave us his jersey.
Do we sound needy and insecure, Jonathan? I know the answer. Yes.
No, not at all. But I will say this. If I didn't like you guys, I don't think there would be any doubt. I think you guys would have a very clear picture. And if I didn't like you, you guys wouldn't have to ask that question to find out.
All right, good to know.
All right, there you go.
Good to know. Because do you like doing these interviews when you guys are in these losing streaks? I mean,
of course.
That's probably the worst of your career, right? 8 straight losses.
Who knows? I went 3-13 before, but I will say at least I know when I come on the show, it's not like a grill session. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've done some interviews where these guys are just looking to, get headlines, and I mean, I understand they got to do their job. So I always appreciate the fact that you guys keep it pretty light when we lose, and makes it a lot easier for me to come on the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah. We're very likable people.
Yeah.
Tell us why you didn't play in the last game.
Just with the knee injury, I sat down with Coach Rivera, and we agreed that it wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? Obviously, I could have if I needed to, but with just all the wear and tear on the knee and the plantar fascia, we both sat down and agreed that it was just probably for the best that I sit out.
Is that something you've been dealing with all year, just didn't really talk about?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was. But again, I don't like to talk about it because everybody's dealing with something.
Right,
so that's not really an excuse, and I don't even want to throw that narrative out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, look, when you have knee injuries, what do you need done? Are you going to have some sort of like a cleanup in the off season? Is there a torn meniscus? What do you got going on?
Nothing torn. I think it was just a wear and tear for the season, to be honest. This year, defense played a lot of snaps. Sometimes things just kind of flare up. It's kind of hard to.
Was it swelling? Was that what you were dealing with?
Oh yeah, I mean the swelling. I've been dealing with that swelling for years. But going up to see some doctors later this month, and
So what do you do?
I can.
Do you do like what's the stuff my son was doing? That
Get like gel put in there.
No, he did like the blood stuff.
PRP.
The PRP, you do all that and get it drained.
I do just about everything. I have, massages Monday and Friday. I got a very strict eating diet during the season that I got to stay on and stay away from those foods that cause a lot of inflammation.
Ooh, like what? What inflames you? What inflames Jonathan Allen?
Probably the same thing that inflames you guys. A lot of greasy foods. Obviously, alcohol is a no-no. You can't do that.
Oh, that hurts. The whole season.
That's why you and I are different.
Are you telling me the whole season you go the whole
moderation
season?
case?
Okay, alcohol in moderation. Okay, that sounds more doable.
During the season, if we had a really tough game, I will go home and drink 2 hard seltzers, and that's enough to get me pretty buzzed.
Hold on, you get buzzed by a man of your size and carriage gets buzzed
he doesn't drink
by
much.
2 hard seltzers?
You got to think. I stopped drinking in June.
Okay.
Right.
And then the next time I have a drink will be October.
All right, but when you're hardcore in the summer, how many does it take?
Oh man, come on now. I'm 290 pounds, man. I can go all night.
What's your next your trip? You and your wife taking a trip here in the next couple of weeks?
Can we guess?
Didn't he already go around the world basically last year?
Maybe he'll do it again.
So, we have a trip in March. We're going to Easter Island and Machu Picchu, so we're really excited about that
Couldn't
one.
find those on the map.
Easter Island, I've hard time.
Where is that?
I know it has the big giant head statues. That's all I know about it, but I couldn't find it on a map.
They're both in South America. Easter Island is kind of like an island right off of South America.
Mm-hmm.
Peru.
So
Easter Island,
I believe
Chile.
you. I believe
Hey,
you.
when you're in South America, don't do the ayahuasca. No matter what, like a local shaman comes up to you, just say no.
Oh, right.
Oh man, I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, man. I don't believe in all that mumbo jumbo. I'm good.
You don't believe in the voodoo witch doctor stuff?
Hey,
Hey, keep that away from me. I don't even watch TV shows that got that crap in it.
Hey, John, when you and her wife are walking through an airport, I mean, unless you're flying private, which I doubt you're flying private to Easter Island, but who knows? But when you're walking through an airport, how many people come up to you and say, want a picture or autograph?
People only come up to me when my wife's not there. When my wife's there, no one ever. They might look.
Yeah.
They might. I catch people trying to take photos sometimes, but when my wife is there, no one ever comes up to me.
Really?
Yeah, so she's like my little bodyguard.
Right.
Keeps me clean.
Right.
That's good. That's good.
Is it right that does your wife compete in marathons or half marathons?
Yeah, she's done marathons. She was a rower in college, so definitely an athlete.
Have you ever gone running with her? Because I'd imagine you're not a distance runner.
I've gone running with her twice, and they've both been some of the most miserable experiences of my life, and we've never done it since.
Right.
How far did you run?
I ran like a mile and a half, and I'm just exhausted.
Tapped.
Yeah, so
Hey, by the
we
way,
don't run together anymore.
getting back to your trip to South America, have you seen like some of these airports you're gonna be flying into, like up in the Andes Mountains? I mean, it's terrifying.
Well, you got to think. We've been to Bhutan, and Bhutan is one of the top 10 most difficult airports in the world to fly into. So, when you're flying into those airports, you just close your eyes and just say a little prayer. Hey, people get mad at me when I say this. When I'm on a plane, like, I have no control. So if it's my time to go, it is what it is. Can't control it now.
Bhutan is in the Himalayas, by the way.
He just flies into mountainous terrain all over the planet.
That is crazy.
So adventurous.
I mean, you're a big dude. And I understand you'll be in first class, but still, that's a long ways to fly to be such a big guy in a seat all those hours.
Well, that's what the wife likes, so,
Right.
I just suck it up.
My wife likes to fly too, and I just say no.
What did you do? What did you do in Bhutan? What were the top to-go attractions?
So Bhutan is a small country in between China and India, and is very unique, very, very unique. So when you fly in there, you start at like 12,000 miles high. And so we did a little hike up to Tiger's Nest, which is like a Buddhist temple, which I can honestly say is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. You start at 12,000 feet, you're hiking up to 14,000 feet, and I'm just getting crushed by this thing. Lack of oxygen.
Right.
Just, again, one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my life. I don't think I'll ever go back to that.
John,
place.
I went to Pikes Peak 5 years ago, 10,000 feet, and I got out of the car, and I almost just fainted.
And you were in a car.
Yeah, but
he's
when
hiking in Bhutan.
I know, and I walked like 8 steps and almost fainted.
He's laughing. He's played at Mile High Stadium. You think he blasted out? He goes to Pikes Peak?
It's hard.
All right, John, we got to get into
There's no joke.
I know.
John, we got to get into the business of the Commanders. So you talked about meeting with Ron before the last game. Tell us what it was like. Everybody knew this was coming. Regime change. But Ron did have a meeting with the players. What was that like? And then what do you make of Josh Harris's comments in terms of the team moving forward?
One thing about Coach Rivera, he's going to keep it classy until the very end, and that's something you can always appreciate. In today's business where, after you get fired, who knows how I would act if I was in that situation, you know what I mean? So I appreciate him for that, and as far as Coach Harris's comments, I like to hear it. I really do like to hear it. I'm not, again, like I said, not looking for a rebuild. I'm looking to win now, and those comments were refreshing to hear.
Some of your teammates made some interesting comments about the culture, and I know that you had been on this show, and you said that you liked Ron Rivera's culture. Now losing, when you lose 8 straight games, I'm sure that kind of changes your feel towards things. But they were alluding towards needing a culture change. Do you feel that?
It's one of those things where it's well, I always tell some of the guys, you haven't been here for as long as I have, so you haven't seen how far we've come, first and foremost. But obviously, when you lose 8 games in a row, anything that you don't like is going to be known. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to have anything positive to say. So, I mean, the difference between winning and losing is so thin in the NFL. Both of those Giants games, I'm looking at those games, we should have won. The Bears game, we should have won. The Jets game. So if you look at the games that we lost,
but the Bears killed you.
Yeah, but I mean, based on what they did and based on who we are matchup-wise, I think that's a game we should win. I truly believe that.
Of course.
And if you look at those games,
I know, but my point is, when you look back on a season, you got drummed by the Bears.
That doesn't mean the next time we play them, they'd drum us again.
I'll agree with that. On paper, we all picked you guys to beat the Bears.
Right. And that's what he's saying.
No,
that was a must-win.
We didn't show up that game. But when I look at that film and I look at the teams, I see that as a game that we can win, and we should have won when I look back. It's easy in the NFL when things are going bad to I can't even think of the word. When things things can get overwhelming, you know what I mean? And we just got to overwhelm that game. But if we play that game again, I just know the same results aren't happening. So if you look at some of the games we lost, one of the two Eagles games, if not two of the two, we win that, we're competing for the playoffs, and we're in the playoffs on like we have been all year. And the entire mood of the season changes. So, I'm not into when things go wrong. Oh, now I'm going to start calling everything out. I mean, look, obviously the season didn't go how we wanted it to go, but, it is what it is.
I got two questions for you. First off, can you compare? Did you enjoy playing for Jay? Like, because people always talk about the culture and everything, and Ron is hyping himself up with the culture, and you seem to like the culture with Ron. Did you like the culture and everything with Jay's group?
Yes, and so when people talk about the culture, there's two different types of cultures. Mm-hmm. You have the culture in the locker room, and then you have the culture above. When Coach Gruden was our coach, the culture in the locker room was phenomenal. Love the coaches, love the players. It was just all the other stuff. So that's where it can get a little bit confusing for an outsider or fans when we talk about culture. And I truly believe, if Alex Smith doesn't get hurt, I believe that we win 10 to 11 games that season. I mean, we were already 6-2, 2-0 in the division, just beat the Cowboys and the Giants, and we were on a roll. But, that's the NFL, so I enjoyed playing for Coach Gruden, but
I got you. All right, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. You were a big-time supporter of Sam, and so was I, actually. And I just feel sorry for the kid. The second half of the season was just so different from the first half. And I know the competition got better, but what do you think happened? I don't think honestly the staff did him a lot of favors, asking him to pass 50 times a game. I think kind of worn down, hit a wall, lost a little confidence, a lot of things. But what do you think happened? Because the play dropped off precipitously, if I could say so.
Yeah, it's hard to say. When it comes to Sam, like I've always said, it's going to be interesting to see how he bounces back and how he returns. I think it's one of the things where it was just a plethora of things that went wrong. Defense wasn't playing good, couldn't sustain a running game, passing game was inconsistent, and that's a lot. That's a lot to ask for Sam to go out there and with all the issues that we had, fix them all. Obviously, he knows he could play better, but, I think you can say that about everybody on this team. So, interested to see how he comes back from this. The biggest thing about an NFL player is to never lose your confidence, even in situations like this. You wouldn't be here if you couldn't play in the NFL, and I truly believe that, and I told him that. So how you come back, that's going to be on you, but just know there's people in your corner who believe in you, me included, and, just go out there. And if, like I always tell people, if I'm ever going to go out in the NFL, I'm going to go out doing it on my terms. So,
So, John, you've seen the names that Harris and that hierarchy wants to interview, and they are Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, who are the coordinators for the Lions, Mike McDonald and Anthony Weaver, both on the staff at Baltimore, Slowick, the OC at Houston, Dan Quinn, obviously you know him from the Cowboys, and he's been a head coach before, and Raheem Morris, who defensive coordinator for the Rams. So out of these guys, do any of them kind of stand out? You're a defensive guy. Do you care if it's a defensive-minded head coach versus an offensive guy? Who do you like?
And this is coming from a D tackle. I have absolutely no idea how this process works. But one thing that I've always heard is you always want to get an offensive-minded head coach, because if you don't, your offensive coordinator is going to eventually leave for a head coaching job. With that being said, I have absolutely no idea, and I'm just glad I don't have to make that decision, because this fan base is ready for some winning. And
hey, out of curiosity, the NFLPA released that list of the players' favorite coordinators, and they had the top 5 offensive coordinators. The top guy was Frank Smith from the Dolphins. The top guy on defense was Aaron Glenn. Mm-hmm. Did you participate in that?
I did not, honestly. I didn't even know that was a thing. They probably sent it to me.
It was anonymous voting.
Yeah, it was anonymous. Yeah.
So, talking to Jonathan Allen, former Pro Bowl defensive tackle, earlier this season, you made some waves, kind of indicating that at the end of the season, you'd have to make an assessment and figure out if you wanted to stay here in Washington. Where are you at right now?
I'm kind of in the same spot. Listen, I want to win, and I want to win now. Again, that doesn't mean I'm out of here. That doesn't mean I'm staying. I don't know what it means. I think it's right now important for me and my wife to take some time away and get away from this game. When I'm full go from June and really May to January, I think it's important to not make a rash decision or do or say anything that I'm going to regret later. So for right now, I'm just taking time away from the game, enjoying being with my wife, enjoying traveling. And then in a month or two, we're going to reassess how I feel, where we're at, and, go from there.
What's your current contract right now?
I think it's bad. I should know. I think I have 2 years left on this deal. Don't quote me, though.
Are they both guaranteed?
No, they're not.
So 1 year guaranteed, the last one is not?
I don't think any of the money is guaranteed anymore.
Oh, okay. Right.
I think. I'm not positive, though.
Okay.
All right, Jonathan. Well, we've enjoyed having you. Enjoy your time away with your wife, wherever you guys might wind up. And
hey, didn't he invite us to his house at one point? Can't we go there?
Yeah, we didn't follow up.
Yeah.
Much like we never followed up with Zim.
I don't want to go though.
Hey, he's gonna be globetrotting now. Good
Did
luck.
you get your pool fixed or something?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, the pool's all nice and ready to go whenever you guys want to come.
Hey, when he's out of town, we should crash it.
Oh, can we Airbnb?
Yeah. Just give us the keys, John.
Just leave the key under the mat. We'll find it. We won't trash the place. We promise.
Yeah, and make sure you stock the fridge with stuff better than hard seltzers.
Yo, man.
We'll put water in your liquor bottles.
The good stuff off.
Right. All right. Well, have fun on your trips.
Thank you, buddy.
Talk to you soon, bro.
I appreciate you guys.
Yep.
All right,
That's
man.
Jonathan Allen, Commanders defensive tackle.